Hello, hi, and welcome to EmpathicFire. I am your reader, Jay. These are going to be general messages for the sign of Scorpio in June 2021. What is going on, Scorpio? How are you guys doing? I hope you all are doing well. Scorpio, welcome to June. Wherever you are in the world, I hope you are safe, happy, healthy, and secure. Please continue to take very good care of yourselves and those that you know and love, all right? Scorpio, anything you want from me, it's in the description box already, so timestamp is down there. Info on how to purchase a personal reading with me is down there. And if you want to follow me on Instagram, I give you a link for that down below as well, okay? That'll be the start of your reading. We're going to expand on it a little bit later with the rest of the deck and talk about the bottom of the deck as your overall energy. But to start, you guys have the Nine of Wands, Lovers in reverse, Major Arcana for Gemini, and then there she is again. Everybody's getting this High Priestess, all these different decks. Anyway, High Priestess, secondary major for Cancer, also sometimes associated with Pisces. So let's see what this whole message is for you. Let's see what the High Priestess has to say for the Scorpio clan. So, I mean, this is a revelation about a relationship. Possibly the interesting word that they're going to give me, because it's not a typical word that we would say associated with lovers, but because it's in reverse, and I mean, it's a little bit of a salacious vibe. It's a little bit of a, you know, Showtime after dark kind of vibe. For some of you, you've had a very toxic, sexually toxic relationship with a person. Doesn't have to be purely that, doesn't have to be only for those where it's a sexual / romantic relationship. We could have a very toxic relationship with that Lover's card in this particular deck with that depiction, and we could be talking about, you know, a friendship vibe or a family vibe, okay? It doesn't have to only be people who engage in intercourse with each other or whatever. So, but the point is, I would like to say it's over, but it's not. and it's not like subjectively. It's more of like a for the sake of everybody involved. Because, and again, look at this card again. There's a blonde on his lap, but a brunette in the picture frame. So there is a potential for there to be more than two people involved in this situation. Again, doesn't have to be sexual, doesn't have to be romantic, doesn't have to be third party cheating. Oh my God, how could you? It could literally be a family dynamic, a dynamic amongst coworkers. It doesn't have to be, you know, in those particular realms. But what I'm sensing is, for everybody involved, it would be better if this was just over with. Right, Scorpio? You might disagree with me, but here's why I say that. Because the Nine of Wands is about giving it your all. Possibly to the brink of exhaustion, possibly to the point where it's no longer salvageable or healthy or beneficial, safe in some of your cases. It's no longer safe to continue doing what you're doing. But Nine of Wands is that wounded warrior card, traditionally is how it's sometimes phrased. And it's basically a person who puts up a good fight, keeps on throwing themselves into the fray, into a place of adversity to their own detriment. In the traditional tarot, you'll see a guy, he's got a bandage on his head, he's leaning on a wand, and he looks super exhausted. What do we see in this card? We see in this deck, it's a woman fleeing away from a maze, a very tall, walled-in maze, right? And she's fleeing in the cover of darkness, and for some reason, this flowy dress or gown or, what do you call it? Whatever, nightie, or it's not a nightie, but you know what I mean, her bedclothes or something. And it's kind of eerie. It's kind of scary in some type of way. And so for some of you Scorpios, as is your way, not all of you, but some of you, you stick to a bad situation longer than you should. However, that's kind of like your bread and butter, so to speak. It's kind of one of the ways that Scorpio learns the best, no offense to you, is through suffering, is through adversity, is through pain and anguish and trial by fire type of things, right? I'm sure many of you know one of your archetypes is the phoenix, the mythical bird, the phoenix, which is literally burned to death and then rises from the ashes of their own decaying, incinerated body, right? So that's kind of what I'm sensing here, is that through some kind of not great connection you had with a person or people, could be more than one person. You are currently or have done your best by this person, by the situation, as best as you could do, whatever that means to you, however that hits your ear. But at the end of the day, it's not really gotten you anywhere but here, facing this lady. Now, it doesn't have to be literally a lady in your physical life or anywhere even in your consciousness, but the High Priestess. I feel many of you Scorpios have turned on, like how I snap my fingers like that, like quickly. You've turned on and kind of stepped into or will step into some type of higher awareness of yourself, of your life, of your path in life, of your position in the cosmos, whatever. Whatever, if that creeps you out, if that freaks you out, if that makes you feel daunted, if that makes you feel enlivened or somehow inspired, I don't know. But it's like you now know more through the suffering, more than you ever could have. And many of you, it's like I don't know what that is. I don't know how to describe what I'm seeing. I guess it's like almost like a telescopic view. Like, I wish I could remember what this is. I've seen it in like art, and I've seen it in like mechanical like sculptures or something. But it's like one lens, and it's a very large lens, and then you have a slightly smaller lens in front of that, and another smaller lens there, and it gets down to be like a teeny tiny lens, and it's like, but it's like the gradualness, both up and down. It's like you're able to see more of the nuances, more of the details that maybe you missed before, because maybe the magnification or the depth of the scope has increased. You know what I mean? So it's like before, maybe when you first became acquainted with this person or these people, you were in a different phase in your life. They were in a different phase of their life. You came together for different reasons. Maybe, again, you worked together at that time. Now, 20 years later, you're best of friends. You haven't worked together for the past 15 years, but you know that connectivity is still there. So even the original reason or the original vehicle or purpose that brought you two together doesn't exist anymore. So it's like clocking maybe that's it. Maybe each lens is like a snapshot in your relationship with this person, like a takeaway. Like every year, what's the Polaroid, what's the snapshot of your relationship with this person? And if you line all those things up, and if you examine them or pay attention to them, there's something to be revealed there. The High Priestess talks about things that can be revealed to us, but may not be revealed to us. And even if they are revealed, they're not necessarily easily understood. You know? It's like asking a person a simple question and they answer you with a question, or they answer you with a puzzle or a riddle or some really long drawn out highly detailed thing. You could say, what's 2 plus 2? And then they start talking about the philosophies that they've learned in life, and like, you know, they might say like some like old adage from like a village in ancient China or something that's supposed to mean something to you, but it doesn't mean anything to you. But 2 years later, you remember that adage. You're like, holy shit, the answer to my simple question was answered 2 years ago. Like there's a whole like like a barrel full of knowledge that the High Priestess has, that you are coming into awareness of, contact with, you are hearing for the first time, listening to for the first time, seeing for the first time, reading for the first time, and it's sinking in, possibly for the first time. It could come in the form of an external person. For many of you, it will not. Psychics. Many of you Scorpios are natural psychics, natural intuitives, natural empaths. It's part of the 8th house, you know, the whole esoteric underworld space, all that kind of stuff. So it's out here for you to partake in on your own. And many of you, especially if you're watching any tarot reading, not just this one, you are already on your path to getting that information. And being aware of what you knew before, but could not understand or fathom. Maybe even, yeah, you couldn't even fathom it. You couldn't even conceive of a certain answer 4 years ago. But today, tomorrow, 5 months from now, whenever, it's gonna like that again with the finger snap. It's gonna be like, oh, I get it. It makes sense now. You know, long and the short of it is hindsight is 2020. You know, at the beginning of this connection, you didn't think it was toxic. You didn't think there was anything wrong with how you and this person or these people got along. You thought that everything was cool and kosher. And it turns out, and maybe it was at the time, but now that time has passed and you're different, they're different, circumstances are different, the world is different. It's like, oh, I'm in a toxic situation. I'm in a toxic bond with this person. And again, it doesn't have to be sexual. We could be talking about your mother. You're talking about your best friend since 4th grade. Who knows? So let's see what else is going on here. And then we're going to end soon because it's dinner time. Anyway, guys. What else is going on here for Scorpio? Show me more for Scorpio, please. What else is going on in their situation? Give me more information regarding these messages for Scorpio. What else is happening here, please? Show me. All right. Queen of Wands. Ooh, and then the Queen of Pentacles. What's that? And then, sorry, that might have been really loud. I apologize. How are we doing this one? Yes. Okay, there we go. All right, and bottom of the deck is the overall energy. Ooh, I haven't seen that in a long time. Okay, so here we go. And it's 1 and 2, so it's sequential. High Priestess, card number 2. Magician, card number 1. This is secondary major for Gemini and Virgo. Could be dealing Queen of Pentacles, Earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Queen of Wands, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could be dealing with any of those signs. None at all. Doesn't matter. So this sequential 1 and 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, it's like a natural progression is afoot. The natural next steps are kind of in front of your face. But you have to wear the right glasses in order to see this. Okay, that's very interesting. You have to see the path. You have to see the answers. Like I said before, you have known, or it's been told to you before, or you came up with the answer yourself, but you haven't really like cemented that information or taken it on board. Magician says you can choose to do that. Magician is a manifestor. The magician is someone who creates their own reality, however that hits your ear, whatever you conceive of when you think of that. And you know, the illustration with our good friend here, Beau Bridges, right? No, Lloyd Bridges. Doesn't he look like Lloyd Bridges a little bit? The dude, right? A little bit. Just saying. So it's like an invitation. The door, he's holding it open. The one hand, he's like, come on in. You can choose. Magician is about choice. And because the High Priestess is above him, and I'm, no gender, but because the High Priestess is above the Magician, it's really what you make of it. Magician can act or not act. The Magician can be smart or not smart. The Magician can utilize information wisely or utilize information for the detriment of themselves or others. It's all about choice. I think some of you Scorpios, it's about belief. It's about belief in yourself or belief in your ability to act in your own best interest or act in a way that this Gemini, it could be a Gemini, by the way, but this lover's energy, I feel, is very tempting to you, or you're very loyal to it, or you're afraid of it, or there's something there about overcoming whatever that is or whomever that is. right? And you don't believe you can do it, but it's here. Boom and boom, 1 and 2. Perhaps it's a 2-step process. 1, 2, and then you're done. I'm boiling that down to be very simple, but like some of you don't think it's as simple as it is, and maybe it is as simple as 1, 2. Yeah. Queen of Wands and Queen of Pentacles. Okay. For some, this is like choosing. Okay? Because Gemini, again, I keep saying Gemini. The Lover's card can talk about having choice in a situation, and we simply see 2 people here. Male or female, fire sign or earth sign, none of that is particular in a general reading like this. But for some of you, it's a choice between 2 people, maybe romantically, but not necessarily. We could be choosing between our friends and our family. We could be choosing between our boss and our spouse. Whatever it is. And it's not to say an ultimatum or an ultimate choice. If you have one, you cannot have the other, or if you go one way, you can never have contact with the other person. I don't know if it's that extreme, but I do sense like there's a draw, there's an attraction, there's pros and cons to both of these characters, whomever they are in your life, Scorpio. And I keep saying this, the Gemini. So for some of you, it keeps slipping out of my mouth. So for some of you, you're definitely dealing with a Gemini. And I don't know how that's going because, excuse me, their readings, at least on my channel, have been pretty butt for like several months. But anyway, the choice that you have is possibly being avoided. Because the Lovers is in reverse there. And you might not know what to choose or how to go about things or where to go next or whom to talk to or whatever it is. In this High Priestess energy, again with the Magician, you simply just follow some steps, find a reasonable or logical or sensible pathway, and you'll be enlightened in some type of way. Like the decision, also in some of your cases, if you really think about it, you've already made the decision. It's just a matter of bringing it into reality, as above, so below, with the Magician energy. So your higher self, in some of your cases, your higher intuition, your guides, whatever you believe in or don't believe in, has already made the choice, but your physical reality self, your 3D self, has not made the choice. And there's a disconnect between these two. There's a big disconnection in general, whether you conceive of what I just spoke of or not, between the Magician and the High Priestess energy. There's a big disconnect there, okay? So, these 2 characters, I just feel... Mostly, in most of your cases, these are 2 distinct individuals. They're not very similar, and other than maybe they're both queens. So maybe they're both female or feminine energied people. That's about it. After that, they're very different. I don't sense that these 2 people like each other or know each other very well, or if they do, it's a strained relationship. I get the sense that this one is aloof. This one's very curt is the word they're giving me. Curt. I don't even know if I'm using that right. C-U-R-T, curt. And this one over here is kind of a bitch. And maybe that's one and the same thing. I don't know. Maybe it's just semantics. But I feel like they both kind of are oil and water. They don't mix very well. So this could be you choosing between 2 relatives of yours. Whose house are you going to go to for the holidays? Who are you going to join on, in this endeavor? Are you going to choose this person or that person? I don't know what it is, but I feel these 2 are at odds. Both are very confident and both have, again, pros and cons. They offer benefits and demerits or less beneficial things, and you're in a tough spot. This is not to make an excuse, by the way. This is not to say if this was a romantic situation and you're caught up between 2 lovers, like all of a sudden, oh, I feel for you. Yeah, I do. But at the same time, the choice is made, whether you know it or not at this moment. And whom you choose, I don't know. Is definitely not here, and we're not going to clarify. But I feel they both have something to offer you. They both have value in your life. Then they both have purpose. Thank you. Value and purpose in your life. And it could be, for some of you, just a few of you, it could be a choice of moving on from it doesn't have to be a choice between. It could be a choice of moving on from. As an example, again, you could be employed in one place right now for 10 years, 20 years, whatever it is. A new job, it's on the horizon. You know, a lot of people are changing industries, and a lot of people went back to school during the pandemic, whatever. So now you're in this transitionary phase to go into a different line of work. And it's a choice between stay with the career and the people that you know there, which is fine, or go off and choose a new career with new people and a new path, possibly to the to the disappointment or the anger or the ire of whomever you're leaving behind. That works in business, that works with family, that works with your dating life, that works with your romantic life, whatever. You get me? Overall energy, Scorpio. Four of Swords. Time out. You and or other people are taking a massive time out here. Possibly facing some very skelly demons. Yes? Let's focus that a little bit better. There you go. So maybe you're spending extra hours in bed. Maybe you're spending all day in bed. And in that downtime, a lot of subterranean, subconscious turmoil, trauma, perhaps in some of your cases, but just like tormenting. Some of you are really facing your own personal torment over everything we were just discussing, okay? Now, the interesting thing is, you know, the hands coming up from under the bed. What do we tell children, you know, as part of make-believe, or, you know, if you don't get in bed, the monsters are gonna get you. You know, it's like, it's kind of, some of you are stoking this up. It's coming from your deep set fears. It's not a part of reality. Some of the things that are hanging you up in the situation, or making you feel nervous or anxious in the situations. Others of you, you're just having really bad sleep, and you need to emphasize getting better sleep. I don't know about you, my sleep hygiene has been terrible. Your girl's going through something anyway, personally. But, and it's not bad. It's just like, you know, ugh, here I go. But anyway, so it could be that. It's just like, you know, and I mean, I'm not a sleep expert, but I'm like, I don't know that anybody, like, who sleeps like that? Feet all out, you know, no blanket, no cover. Like, I don't know. It just looks uncomfortable. So maybe it's a matter of, you need to get, again, a better night's sleep, Scorpio. That would be helpful to you in some type of way, okay? All right, guys, that is your reading. You've got the longest one so far, and these are meant to be a little bit shorter than, you know, what I've ever done on the channel. But anyway, if you like this reading, if it resonated with you, hit the like button, leave a comment, let me know how it resonated. If you want to subscribe to the channel and you haven't done so before, hit the button. YouTube gave it to you for a reason. Thanks. And if you want to get at me for a personal reading, you can find the information on how to do so down below. Scorpio, I'll be back in a few weeks' time to do your mid-June readings. Until then, guys, I thank you all so much for watching. Take care.